Deep inside a forgotten jungle lies a village that does not appear on any map. At first glance, it looks ordinary. Mud houses, flickering lanterns, and people living simple lives. But behind its silence hides a truth that terrifies even the bravest travelers. Every year on the same night, one villager vanishes without a trace. No footprints, no sound, no farewell. They disappear as if the earth itself has swallowed them. Stranger still, after exactly 1 year, the missing person returns, alive, but changed, their eyes hollow, and memories erased. No one dares to ask where they go, because the jungle seems to punish those who seek answers. And tonight, it is happening again. The jungle stretched endlessly, its dense canopy blocking out the sun. Daniel, a young journalist from New York, had come chasing a rumor. Local whispers spoke of a village that vanished from maps, a place people feared to even name. He wanted a story that would shake the world, but as the dirt road disappeared behind him, a strange unease wrapped around his chest. At the edge of the forest, he found an old man sitting beside a fire. His skin was wrinkled like dried bark, his eyes cloudy with secrets. When Daniel asked for directions, the old man shook his head. "You should not go there," he muttered. "That village belongs to the jungle, not to men." But curiosity burned hotter than fear. Daniel pressed forward, the path twisting until suddenly the trees opened. There it was, the forgotten village. It looked frozen in time. Children played barefoot in the dirt. Women carried water in clay pots, and men sat sharpening tools. Yet the silence was unsettling, as though laughter itself was afraid. The villagers glanced at him but did not smile. A woman in her 30s approached. Her name was Layla, her face beautiful, yet marked with sorrow. She whispered, "Stranger, why are you here? Tonight is not safe." Before Daniel could ask, a loud bell echoed through the jungle. The villagers froze, their eyes filling with dread. That night Daniel could not sleep. The jungle outside whispered like a living thing, and the boy's scream replayed in his mind. Layla sat quietly near the fire, her face lit with sorrow. "Where do they go?" Daniel finally asked. Her lips trembled. "No one knows. They return after a year, but different. They never speak of what they saw. Their memories are stolen, and their souls, half of them stays behind in the jungle." Daniel leaned forward. "Have you lost someone?" Tears filled her eyes. "My brother, Arif. He was taken 3 years ago. He came back, but he was no longer the same. He walked the village like a stranger. His laughter was gone. His eyes, empty. He died last winter, and the healer said it was because his spirit never fully returned." Daniel shivered. He had come chasing a story, but now he was tangled in something far darker. Suddenly, the silence was broken. From outside came a knock on the door. Slow, heavy. Layla froze, gripping his arm. "No one knocks at night," she whispered. Daniel swallowed hard, moving toward the door. Against Layla's desperate pleas, he opened it slightly. The lantern light revealed a shadowed figure, tall, drenched in mud, eyes glowing faintly in the dark. It was the boy. The same boy who had disappeared hours ago. His face was blank, his lips sealed, his body trembling. He stepped inside and without a word collapsed to the ground. Layla gasped. "It has never happened this fast. The jungle, it has changed." Daniel felt the ground beneath him pulse as though the earth itself had a heartbeat. Something was watching, the forbidden path, 350 words. By morning, the boy was gone. No one knew how he had left or where he had gone. Fear gripped the village, and whispers filled the air. Daniel sensed panic, but also silence, the kind forced upon people by something greater than fear. Determined, Daniel sought out the oldest man in the village, known as Baba Kadir. His hut was filled with strange symbols carved into wood and stone. The air smelled of smoke and herbs. "You saw the boy return?" Baba Kadir said without Daniel speaking a word. "The jungle is restless. It does not like outsiders." Daniel pressed forward. Where do they go? What happens to them? The old man's eyes darkened. There is a path, forbidden to walk. It leads to the heart of the jungle. There lies the maw, the place where the jungle feeds. Those taken are swallowed into it. Daniel's skin crawled. And if I go there? You will not return, Baba Kadir whispered. Or worse, you will return empty, as many have. But Daniel's curiosity had already turned into obsession. That night, guided only by a lantern, he slipped into the jungle. The air grew colder, the trees thicker. Strange markings appeared on the trunks, glowing faintly in the dark. He followed them until the ground turned soft, almost breathing beneath his feet. Then he saw it. A clearing where the trees twisted into an arch, forming what looked like a doorway. Beyond it, only blackness. The air vibrated with whispers, dozens of voices calling his name. Layla appeared suddenly, her face pale with terror. Daniel, you must not go further. The maw does not give back what it takes. But Daniel could not step back now. His story was waiting beyond the darkness. Into the maw, 350 words. The archway pulsed like a living wound in the forest. Daniel's heart thundered, but the pull was stronger than fear. He stepped through. Instantly the world shifted. The jungle around him dissolved into a place that did not belong to Earth. The sky was black and torn, streaked with crimson light. The ground was wet, pulsing like flesh. Shadows moved without bodies, whispering secrets in languages he could almost understand. He stumbled forward and saw them. Dozens of villagers wandering aimlessly, their eyes hollow, their faces drained of life. They looked alive, yet dead, trapped between two existences. Among them, he recognized Arif, Layla's brother. The man turned his empty gaze toward Daniel, lips parting slowly. Leave, before it eats you too. A chill sliced through him. Suddenly the ground split open, revealing an abyss swirling with light and darkness. The whispers turned into screams. From the pit rose something vast, its form shifting like smoke and shadow. The jungle's hunger given shape. It stretched tendrils toward him, pulling, calling his name. Daniel struggled, but the force was overwhelming. Just as he felt himself slipping, a hand grabbed his wrist. Layla. Somehow she had followed him inside. "Run!" she screamed, dragging him back. They stumbled toward the archway, the ground collapsing behind them. The creature roared, a sound that shook the very marrow of his bones. With one final leap, they crossed the threshold, collapsing back into the village. The archway vanished. The jungle fell silent. But Daniel knew he had not truly escaped. The village awoke to chaos. The jungle had never reacted this way before. The ground still trembled faintly, and animals fled as though sensing an unseen terror. Layla's face was pale. "You should not have gone there. You woke it." Daniel's hands shook as he scribbled notes. "The world must know. People must see what is happening here." But Baba Kadir appeared, his voice stern. "You cannot tell this story. The jungle listens. If you reveal its hunger, it will follow you beyond these trees." Daniel refused. The truth must be told. That night, as he prepared to leave, the villagers gathered silently, their faces grim. They gave him food, water, and a single warning. "If you speak of what you saw, it will find you." Daniel left at dawn. The path out of the jungle felt endless. When he finally reached the city, the world felt too bright, too alive. He tried to convince himself it had been a nightmare. But when he developed his photos, his blood ran cold. Every image of the village was blurred, erased, except for one. A single picture of the archway, glowing faintly, and in the background, hollow-eyed figures staring straight at the camera. That night, as Daniel sat at his desk, he heard it. The bell. The same metallic sound that had echoed in the village. It rang through his apartment walls, though he was hundreds of miles away. His pen fell from his hand. His chest tightened. The whispers began again, and in the reflection of the window, he saw the jungle waiting,